Hey everyone, sorry, so sorry for being a bit late. But I hope everybody is having a good night. I just wanted to set this up to be a little more special, so I wanted to have the Christmas corner of the room. I'll just make sure everything's working fine, and then we can, yeah. Let me know if the music's too loud. I have the music like just on a speaker right there, and I can also adjust the coloration. Ooh, there you go. Okay, let's get everybody in here. Merry Christmas, by the way. Happy holidays for everybody. Good gosh. Wow. Okay, I'll call everybody over. Time. Gosh, that is loud though, isn't it? I don't know. I didn't realize it would be that loud. Okay. Hello, everybody. Who's here? Who's here? Get in the chat. Because also, so for tonight, we are doing an agenda, kind of. We have a couple of things we want to do. But if you want to be part of the raffle for our merch, you do have to just, chat even just once. Like, you just have to, like, look in the chat and kind of say hi. Please do that for me. But also, oh, that's good. Hi, Lorena. Nice to see you here. Oh, my gosh. Hi there. Yes. So I will say that. Hello, everybody. Yay. That's awesome. Hi, Kirsten. Wonderful. I will say that if you want to win the thing, you do have to get in touch with us on basically like on our social media, so we can like send you a private message or an email for your details, so we can send you the gift. So even if you don't stay for the entire live stream, which is fine, I know people are busy. If you want the gift, you should let us know through one of, like, if you win the gift, I mean, and you weren't there for the live stream, or you can't like give your info in the moment, you can message us or get in touch with us on our socials. And yeah, you can say like, oh, I won the gift, and then like we'll give you all the details. So yeah, I'll put it in the chat as well, just so everyone can like know. Oh, sorry, one sec. I'm alone tonight. No, it's fine. For details. Because unfortunately, YouTube makes it very, very difficult to like get in touch with people like through subscribers. Used to be different, but now you can't like email subscribers or anything. You can't really like message them or whatever. So, but for anyone who like misses part of the stream, we will also put the gift receiver in the description and in like a comment on this live, which we'll be posting after the fact. So you guys will have time, will have like an opportunity to know. And also, unless they, if we're looking for the person, we'll like post on our socials as well. Like, oh, you won this thing. Let me know if my voice is fine compared to the music, because I feel like it gets a little louder, but it seems okay. How is everybody doing? Like, are you feeling the spirit like I am? Like me sitting in front of this wonderful tiny Christmas tree that we have. It is time. I'm a mess. You see, I am just like rushing today, but it's good. Look at my snowflake sweater. That's what I'm feeling today. Let me just get this on so that I am on theme. So what's gonna happen today is, first I will be announcing the fundraiser and what we're gonna do in the fundraiser, and mainly what we're planning to do with like our tiers and everything, like what to expect, all the stuff that we're gonna be giving away and all that. Another thing we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna be judging Christmas things or like holiday things. I asked for some movies, other media, can be anything, can be like a Christmas special, can be a song, can be like even like Christmas themed things, like maybe, I don't know, Nutcracker or something like that. You can put it in the chat and let me know like which what I should judge. I believe there was a mention somewhere. I have to look this up, but there's somebody who mentioned uh, horror Christmas things. I think it might have been Jesse. I'm not sure. Yeah, Christmas horror. If you can like repeat like or add like what you want to hear about in the chat, let me know like what Christmas horror you want me to judge. Although I will absolutely like I will let you know if I haven't watched it. Krampus or the Gremlins. Ooh, okay. So here is my unfortunate confession to everybody. I am not actually a Christmas movie watcher. A lot of people love Christmas movies. I love everything else about Christmas, but not the movies. So I actually haven't watched Krampus or the Gremlins. Sorry. Ah. I'm a disappointment, I know. Oh my gosh. Christmas themed horror movies. Oh gosh, what have I watched that's Christmas themed and horror? Uh, I can't think of anything weirdly, because for me, like, in fact, like when it comes to Christmas movies at all, unfortunately, there is also like I do have another confession, which is that the only Christmas movie that I watched that I remember in great detail is Love Actually. Ooh, Shudder has some. You know, I do have Shudder, so I'm gonna go check that out. I should like start, I guess. I should start like getting into Christmas themed or like holiday themed horror. I think that'd be fun. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, what else am I doing today? Gosh, let me know again, like if anything's too loud, too quiet, if the video's okay. I decided to just stream straight from YouTube this time. Before we would use a different like site to stream to YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, but I feel like people never talk anywhere except YouTube, so I just decided to do this one here. And yeah, here I do want to show you guys a couple of things. I wore these earrings to match the snowflakes, but I do have some Christmas themed earrings. Oh, thank you, the Alpha Shadows. Oh my goodness. So yeah, just to repeat for people who just came in, if you win something, we will post like the winner of the merch to. We will mention it in the stream, but if you don't get to catch the full stream, we can put it in the description. And if you see that you've won, you can get in touch with one of our socials, any of our socials, and we will give you all the details so that we can send you the gift. So yeah, like I wanted to do something that would be fun for the community, and really thank you guys for all the support, all the awesome stuff that you guys have done. And yeah, Kirsten, I'm sorry, I haven't watched Die Hard. I'm so bad. There are like so many movies that I should have watched by now, but I haven't. And this may surprise you because I did have a movie. Um, I did have like a movie podcast with some people, and literally every single movie they told me to watch, I've never watched before. Ooh, the Nutcracker. I am okay. So I never watched the new Disney Nutcracker, which I heard was terrible. But I used to take ballet for many years. Huge ballet nerd. My favorite anime is Princess Tutu. And in terms of ballet, the Nutcracker is one of the biggest. I was actually planning to watch the Nutcracker here in Canada. They were making such a big deal out of it, but things got too busy. And thank like not thankfully because I might have liked to watch it, but thankfully so that I didn't have to make that decision. I got an email because I do have the Royal Ontario, like the Royal Ballet, on my email saying like, "Oh, Nutcracker is completely sold out," and I'm like, "Good." I've like passed the time where I can decide to watch it. But yeah, Nutcracker I love. I have watched it on in a YouTube like video that they had released, like the Royal Ballet had released last year, I think. Before that, like I've danced a couple of like ballets and I've seen people dance parts of the Nutcracker, but the whole show I've never watched in entirety except on YouTube. So maybe next year I'll watch like the proper show. I think it's cool. I think the Nutcracker is a heartthrob in Nutcracker form rather than Prince form, because of course I do. I also think that like I love listening to Tchaikovsky. Like you don't understand how good Tchaikovsky's music is. I love listening to the Nutcracker the sorry, Swan Lake. Like those are just such bangers. Like if you want really good classical music that was created by a very gay man who who made the best music and decided at one point to make a song that had a cannon being fired as part of the song. Go listen to Tchaikovsky. He's great. And yes, the Puppet Master was my excuse to get a bunch of like ballet and Tchaikovsky imagery in there. I there are lots of like nutcrackers being sold at the dollar store, but I want to probably get like a proper one at some point. Yeah. Jesse says Tchaikovsky is one of my favorite composers to play as a violinist. That's awesome. A violist, sorry, not violinist, violist. That's awesome. That's really cool. Okay, here are my earrings. Here are my Christmas earrings, by the way. I have a couple of elf earrings. I have a couple of elf earrings. But these ones are like super Catholic. These are the very Catholic earrings. I got them from a Filipino market, a Christmas market back in November. So obviously very Catholic. But so if you look, it's a it's a nativity scene earring, which is super Catholic, but also really impressive. Like, look at that. Like, that's such cool detail. You can just immediately identify it as a nativity scene. It's so cool. I can wear it for this one. Well, it doesn't match my outfit, but it's super cool. Yeah, it's like just wood. It was $5. The person who made it's amazing. Yeah, let me just look at my. I keep forgetting. Let me look at my itinerary here. Yeah, so we can like start judging different things as we go on, but the Christmas gift, the merch will happen nearer to the end of the stream, just so we can just so we can give more people time to get in the stream and have more chances to win. Uh, one sec. That just slipped off my ear. Give me a moment. Thank you, Kristen. I'm glad. I'm glad it's cute. It's a disaster. Okay, here. There we go. You can see like the lights of a Christmas tree, but you can also see like outside. I think you can see the lights outside, which is kind of cool. And just in frame is so here's something I want to share actually. So in the Philippines, Christmas is a big deal. And obviously there's no snow, there's none of the imagery that you associate with Christmas that much. But we do have something called a parol. And a parol is like the symbol of Filipino Christmas. It is a star lantern, and that's a very traditional parol. You can't see it in the lighting, but it is very pink. It's a pink parol for that my mom brought me when she came to visit. It is for anyone who's Filipino. It is a representation of the president we wish we had, who is still a good leader, even if she lost against the son of a dictator. Yeah. Hi, Rita. Hello. We are just chatting a little bit. You can throw some stuff for me to judge, like Christmas things for me to judge. They can be images too. Because I suddenly forgot that I needed to share screen. I'm streaming straight from YouTube, so I can't share screen, I think, but I can bring it up. Wait, I can bring it up on this iPad, or not iPad, on this tablet. So if you have something to share with me that you want to see everyone to see, pictures are fine. I don't think I'll be able to like do. Oh no! I was so prepared and I didn't charge this tablet. Oh well. This is going well, isn't it? Whew, might as well happen. Sorry, one sec. Thank you, Rita. I appreciate it. Or even winter things. Anything. I have a couple of things here. I have this to put on my head real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Everything always goes like this. It's like as soon as a stream starts, that's when things get crazy. Give me a moment. Oh gosh. Okay. So as we go along, at a certain point, I'm going to share details about the fundraiser. There we go. And you can ask me questions about Hainai and Act 3. Like anything you want, you can ask. Oh, thank you. It's the best. Like, it's my favorite thing. I bought like a bunch of these. It's a clip-on Santa hat. So when you look at it like this, it looks like it's like a tiny hat on your head. Very stylish. Here are some other things that I have. Unfortunately, there's not enough table space to make hot chocolate on stream, but I do have tis the season. The hot chocolate served here. Here, I'll just put it. It's a little hot chocolate station. Christmas blend. There we go. And I also have this one's really cool. So I brought a bunch of stuff with me from the Philippines, and one of this broke, but one of them is this like really cool shell Christmas tree. It's like made from capiz shell, which is a very common Filipino shell that's used for like a lot of like decoration. Like it used to be used for windows, but now it's used for like just a bunch of like ornaments and stuff, like special things. I can't put it on stream either, but it's very cool. I just want to show you guys. And oh, thank you. Yeah, this is beautiful. Like as expected, I did break it a little bit, but like when I just turn it this way, it looks fine. I love this. Capiz is such a cool thing. When I get to the Philippines, I'm actually gonna go buy a capiz tree topper because they are so beautiful, and like I'm seeing them in demand everywhere here in North America for like $50, and I'm like I could just go home and buy it for like 100 pesos, which is like $2. But you don't actually. I'm gonna break this framing for a little bit because I want to show you guys the actual big parol. So that's the small parol. That's the mini one. The big parol is more fun. It's very common in the Philippines. It's beautiful. Here it is. I'll grab this camera and rotate. Oop. Whoa. Okay. Let me see if I can. There. Oop. Ah. What am I doing? Ah, there. Okay. So that's the big parol. It's kind of broken also because I once hung it up outside and it fell down in a winter storm because we don't get winter storms in the Philippines. But that's the parol. It's super cool. It's usually like completely lit up. But now you can see only one of them is lit up. But it works for the indoors. So that's the big parol. Super cool. And you can see like my little birds over there. See? Very Christmassy today. And always. Okay, I actually think this framing is way better. Like, what did I do? Yeah. So, let me see what I'm going to do first here. I keep almost like closing this tab. I should not do that. Okay. All right. So, first agenda of the night. I was gonna say like we're probably not gonna. I probably have like less content than I should, but the stream always like picks up very quickly. Okay. One last thing to show you guys before I go into my first agenda of the night, which is to tell you all about the fundraiser. First of all, or last of all, I mean, there is this man here. It is an ornament. I don't even know if I can get this close enough. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna bring this camera closer. Okay. So if you can see him in the back there, what? There he is. So this is the Santa in the Philippines ornament. I can't get him off the tree, but there you go. He has a barong and he has like a little jeep. It's very cute. And yeah, you can see like that side of the room as well. That stocking says Santa I can explain. So you can see I'm very ready for Christmas. But I get it from my mother, from my nanay. And my nanay is extremely Christmas like ready. She is like the Christmas queen. Our family house has Santa I can explain. Our family house has like two gigantic Christmas trees. One of them is like two floors tall, and the other one is like on the outside. It's a whole thing. So when I get home, it's gonna be crazy. Um, we are the very obnoxious Christmas family, but it's fun. Like the reason being in the Philippines, we don't have Thanksgiving. We hardly have Halloween. So basically, once September starts, it's Christmas all the way, and that's pretty fun. Like it's nice to have like something to celebrate. Um, Rita says my family has a Christmas cactus. I love that. That's awesome. That's really cool. We need to send a picture in the Discord. For those of you who haven't joined the Discord, if you want to, come join the Discord. It's really fun. And now I will. Oh hell yeah! Post it in the photos, Rita. I will tell you guys about the fundraiser. So, ooh, yes, please, Christmas cactus. We're all here for the Christmas cactus. So, fundraiser stuff. You guys don't know this, but behind the scenes, we are going hard on our fundraiser stuff. Also, Lorena says we have a Christmas tumbleweed. That is amazing. I love this. I love it so much. You should put like Christmas hats on all of those. That's all you need. That's what you need. Um, yes. So, um, we have a list. I need to bring up the list. Gosh. It's gonna be crazy. It is like genuinely gonna be crazy to see like all of the we're gonna start our fundraiser in January, which now that I think about it probably was a bad idea because everybody will have spent all their money in Christmas and have nothing to give us. But who knows? Maybe they'll like it, and I can show you guys some like cool. Well, I've been posting about it. I think like I've been posting about it on the socials. It is just this. I'm just animating a promo video, and we are trying to get essentially like we're trying to get a lot of people into our fundraiser. Okay, here we go. This is it. I wish I had like more than one person here, but everyone's like so busy because unfortunately, I did make a list and check it twice. Thank you, Jesse. We actually edited the list like 5 times. Oh, the Alpha Shadow says yes, your gorgeous animation. Thank you. It's gonna get even better. It's gonna get even better. I actually decided to do so. I was thinking like how could we make a better how could we make a more fun like promo video, because we want to get everyone involved. We want to get everyone to donate to our cause, or not cause, but like to our Act 3. And then I was watching the Game Awards, and then the Hades 2 trailer came out. I lost my mind. And as soon as that came out, I just wanted to make an animated, like a semi-animated trailer, and I immediately just like sat down and drew a semi-animated trailer. Almost done too. I just need to do lip syncs and we'll be good. So I'm excited to release that one with some ominous voice lines. Lorena says, Merry Christmas to all. Thank you so much. I don't know if that means you're leaving or not, but I really do appreciate the Christmas cheer. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I love that you guys still came and just like, to celebrate the holiday cheer. It has been very wonderful. And again, like at the end of the stream, I will choose from like all the people who have randomly, I will choose like from the people who have attended the stream and pick a winner for the gift and get in touch. Okay, so here is the list. Okay, So this might be slightly changed over time, but here's what's gonna happen. Um, oh goodness gracious, give me a sec. I just realized this is a part 2 of this list. Sorry guys, one sec. Ah, love this for me. Gotta be sure that I didn't do this wrong. Okay, here we go. Much better. There it is. Okay. So, oh wait. Okay. Sorry for being a little vague. I just need to go grab something real quick. Be right back. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. It's my here you go. Here's my actual list. It's a big book of things. Does it surprise you guys that we just have like a proper big book of things? Here we go. Yes, okay, perfect. So, here are our tiers for the upcoming fundraiser. Number 1, for $5 tier, we are making a special thank you card and putting the names on our supporter wall, which we will show on all of our socials, which we will show like on our YouTube, etc. We will have a supporter wall. It's one below the next tier, which is to have your name read out. So the $15 tier, we might change it slightly. We'll see, but you get all the $5 rewards, and then you'll also get an audio/video shout out and a social media shout out. So those who donate $15 and above gonna get some read out shout outs. And we wanted to do this so that Reg would not have to like read everybody's names like all the way down to $5. Would have been quite the experience for her. Here's where here's where it gets exciting. Okay. What the hell? Okay. At the $25 tier for donations, we will be releasing to people who donate this the Hainai Act 1 and Act 2 album, which means basically all the episodes without any credits, without any extra bits. It'll have the music, but it will be like basically what we did for the 31 Nights of Hainai, except like fully like clean. So all the clean recordings plus a bunch of the songs that we used for Hainai that we made or like that our characters sang or something like that. So included there will be the opening and ending songs, all the versions of them that were sold to us that we commissioned from a musician. And we will also be adding that one song of the singing ghost singing "Always Chasing Rainbows," if you guys remember that one. My sister, who is the singer, did an amazing job, and we'll be putting that in the album as well. So basically, a $25 tier album, a Hainai album, plus obviously the thank you card and the shout out. So basically, almost all these tiers will have the stuff below their tier as well. So it's like going up and up. The next one is going to be the 40. Yes, it's the $40 tier and above. So it's all that plus the what did I do? Sorry, one sec. There, okay. The $40 tier will be all of that plus some stickers and some like small Hainai merch. So we'll be sending everyone small Hainai merch who do the $40 tier and above. So yes, we will be sending that plus like the physical version of the thank you card. Because like sending everybody the thank you card is kind of difficult for us like logistically. But at least at this tier, it'll be very much better to like send things physically. And then the next tier is the $60 tier. Now, here's where it gets spicy because, yeah, so what we're aiming for 4,550. That's our first goal. Our first goal basically to greenlight Hainai. It's just 4,550. And when I say just, it's because most seasons of podcasts, professional ones anyway, but also like our kind of podcast, um, would take at least $15,000, but we're only asking for 4,550. But we do have like stretch goals. So if we hit around 9,000, I forgot the exact number. Around 9,000, we have a first stretch goal, and then around 12,000, we have a second stretch goal. So that's basically what we're doing, just to make sure that Hainai Act 3 gets off the ground. And I will go on with the next tier. Did you guys see the? By the way, yeah, 4,550 is the first goal. So the first goal is all you need to get Act 3 going. But any more than that, and we can actually like make sure all of the collaborators, the editors, the voice actors are paid a much better sum than doing it all for free. That'd be awesome. And you get like perks and stuff. The perks. So stretch goal number 1 at the 9,000 mark is actually going to be 2 extra Hainai Act 3 episodes. So imagine like our plan is 20 episodes for Act 3, but at first stretch goal it's going to be 22 episodes. And then our second stretch goal is to add 4 more. So if we hit our 11,000 something stretch goal, we will get to have 6 extra episodes. Not even bonus episodes. They're going to be full Act 3 episodes. So it'll go from a 20 episode season to act to a 26 episode act. So it'll be nice and meaty. We already have plans for like the first bit, but like a lot of the storytelling can be like stretched naturally. Essentially, we're trying to keep to a certain number just so we can plan around it better. So going back to the tiers, so at $60, this is where it gets really fun. At $60, you can get a personalized message from a character of choice around 30 seconds. So at $60 and above, you can get any of the characters to say anything for you, and I think that'll be a really fun one. If you have a favorite character, they can have a message for you. It'll be like a 30-second limit, I believe. And what was the next one? Jesse says anything within reason, but yes. Yes, you will get a personalized message at 60 plus. This is for we're doing it on Indiegogo, by the way. Jesse says, I would like Ashvin to whisper the name of the benefactor. I'm gonna get like a deal, the voice of Ashvin. I'm gonna get him to just say the name of the benefactor. That's what's gonna happen. You just wasted 30 seconds. Jesse, that's what's gonna happen. If you ask for the name of the benefactor, you will get the name of the benefactor. Yeah. Yes. Okay, wait. Okay, so the next tier, I'm looking at this, I'm like looking at 3 different things because we did like 3 different iterations of these tiers. We're pretty much there. All right. $85. You get everything below, including the personalized message. Plus, you get to add a name. You just get to name a character. So if you donate $85, you get the personalized message, whatever you want, 30 seconds limit. But you also get to name a future character. So that's like, just a little bit extra because, we're trying to get to this goal to get the series made. So hopefully people will like that. At $100, this is a really fun one. So you get to suggest a character name. You get to get a personalized message. You get to have, the album, everything. But then at $100, you also get to suggest an idea for a future episode. And the idea can only be 3 words. So that's going to be fun. Basically, you can put 3 words of something you want to see in a future episode, and either we will get it into one of the main episodes as like part of, because we do like to include like horror elements and like standalone moments, even though we're still doing the whole arc of the story. So if you guys want a certain thing that you want to see in the story, whether it be a horror element, like you want to say something like let's say mascot horror, like mascot murder, knife, I don't know, you like, those are your 3 words, we will find a way to put that in an episode, if you give us $100. So that's the 3 word horror, the three word horror stories. So that'll happen as well. We'll put that in the ideas hat, and that's at 100. And then we're going up still. 150. 150, you get all that: idea hat, name hat, personalized message, etc., etc. And you can get like stuff from our Redbubble store. So like you can get a shirt, you can get that sort of thing. The Alpha Shadow says that could be very interesting. Thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah, like we thought it would be super fun to let people give their ideas, but put a cap on it, like to make people very creative. 3 words, just 3 words is like so fun, because like we wanted to give people the opportunity to, more than 1 word, but at the same time still put a limit so that we can get more creative with stuff. Like I feel like that's more fun. We can get to play with it a little more. Yes, so at 150, you get all that plus merch up to $40 value. So yeah, basically you get merch as like a prize. You get a shirt, you can get a hoodie, whatever is like below $40 and below. So that'll be 150. And then so here's where it gets crazy. $500 if somebody decides to be very generous. At $500, Hainai will produce an episode of your pre-written short story. So if you have a short story and you want it to be made into an audio episode or audio drama or audio like whatever, we will make it for you. At $500, we will do that, but you have to write the story. Or you could provide like a jumping off point, and we will do it. We'll perform it. So that's $500. We'll perform your story, and that'll be the reward for 500. Plus, you get all the other stuff too, obviously. And then here's what gets even more fun. There is the $1,000 tier. So here's why this one's crazy. The $1,000 tier is for anybody who wants us to write, produce, and create an episode for them. And at $1,000, essentially what will happen is we write the thing. So you just give us an idea. So it's $500, you have to write the thing. $1,000, we have to write the thing. And we have to like produce it, create it, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, that's basically at $1,000 that you make us make an episode for you. Which I think would be fun. Like, I think that would be really cool. And no word limit either, because we're going to be the ones writing it, so we decide how long it's going to be. And finally, the craziest tier, the top tier, the $2,000 tier. The $2,000 tier is all of that. I forgot to mention, the 1K tier excludes, like, you get everything below it except the 500 tier, because you're already getting a story, so you're not going to get 2, but that's whatever. And then the 2K tier, you get all of that minus like either 500 or 1,000 tier. Plus, you are marked as the co-producer credit for every single episode of High Night moving forward. Well, of Act 3. So imagine, if you will, you donate $2,000 to our cause, and you get to have your name in every single High Night episode as credited as the co-producer because you gave us $2,000. Isn't that wild? Isn't that insane? Um, yeah. So that's kind of our tiers. If you guys have any suggestions, you can add them. We can try to like put them into the tiers. I think that would be fun. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it. And Jesse says these are great tiers. Um, and we did you guys see the Magnus Archives fundraiser? Because that was wild. So for those of you who don't know, we were inspired by the Magnus Archives. We're very happy they're doing more stuff. But it's so crazy. I have never seen a goal that reached 3,100% of their goal. So they asked for 15K, like 15,000 pounds. They got like crazy. It is like they got like 3,100% return. So that was like, I don't know, like 15, 30, 45. Like, oh gosh, wait, the math. Ah, 3,100% of 15,000. So yeah, like 46,500, which is wow. It's just so crazy. That much, yeah. So they like, because Magnus Archive is big. Like you don't understand how big this fan base is. Like it is the only horror podcast that's bigger than the Magnus Archives is Welcome to Night Vale. That's like genuinely how it is. Like that's how powerful they are. Um, and yeah, like the Magnus Archive is great. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to, apart from the fact that they're doing a new series, a new side quill. But can you imagine? I hope. Yeah, they raised. Okay, Jesse says they raised $757,076. Yeah, they like broke their stretch goals multiple times. I think at some point um they just raised eight more. Of course they did. Um they're doing like live shows and everything. They're like planning to do live shows. And but the thing is they're a proper like studio. Like they are a proper like company. And they were doing their podcast for like what was it? 5 years? Yeah, they were doing their podcast for 5 years. They hit 200 episodes. So they deserve all of this. Like, and the fact that they have this following now, they deserve it. It's awesome. We were inspired by them, but we didn't do exactly the same thing they did, which I think they did a smarter thing, which is that they did a lot of monologues before. I've got the Alpha Shadow says I've got to lure these people into other shows. That's why. That's how I got my start. I lured people from the Magnus Archives. I was like, hey everybody, we're inspired by the Magnus Archives, and then we just got people in the door, and they actually liked us. So we're just riding on their coattails. No, I'm kidding. We did like the reason that I started this podcast was because I made a post on Tumblr. I was planning I was planning to, like maybe start a podcast in 2020, but then the Tumblr post going kind of semi-viral was like the big push we needed to turn this into a whole project. And 2 years later, we're doing pretty good. We're at like over 50K listens for only like 50 episodes, which is good numbers. Jesse says, and then there's me, and I learned from about TMA from Hainai. You're the second person, by the way. It was so funny when I first heard someone, oh, you know what? Um, I listened to the Magnus Archives, and I thought, this sounds like Hainai. How the turntables. Can't believe, like, we've gone full circle. Like, everyone's, like, going to Hainai and be like, oh, that reminds me of the Magnus Archives. And now it's like... Oh, Kirsten says, I found you guys through Tumblr. I just searched horror podcasts. LOL. We're on that list. We're on the list. I mean, I feel bad because there are other really cool horror podcasts that I'm seeing around. Alpha Shadow says, I remember that post. Also means I can hipster brag about being here from episode 1. You're an old guard. You can... It's the OG. Thank you. Thank you for being here. No, but like, it was crazy. Like, just talking about this podcast, people already did fan art before we released our first episode. We released our teaser, but like we hadn't released our first episode and people were already doing fan art. That was crazy. And we were like, we were basically peer pressured into being as good as possible because people were liked us, and we're like, we have to make them proud. We have to make it good. So hopefully, that was hopefully we are doing okay. Hopefully we are good on some level, even if we are not amazing. But no, that was awesome. That was really cool. Jesse said we were doing great. Thank you. We, thank you, Jesse. I mean, I think you might be biased because you have the murder award. That's why we knew we made it. Like all the fan art, amazing. All the fans being awesome. And then there's Jesse with the murder board and a little whiteboard drawing of like the benefactor. It's really good. I really like it. Yes. So, oh, I forgot to mention, we do have funny names for every tier. Do you want to hear the funny names? Oh, thank you, Alpha Shadows. So it says, the Alpha Shadow says, your show is a constant delight. Thank you. We try to be a delight. Ooh, we have funny names for the tiers. An occasional terror. Thank you. When you were making the first episode, we were like, oh, it's a horror podcast, but we don't think it's that scary. And then people started coming back being like, why didn't you tell me it was scary, MOTZIE? And I'm like, we're scary. Can't believe we're scary. Can you believe we're scary? Okay, I'm gonna read out the funny names. So here are the tiers. Funny names for tiers. These are all really bad Filipino jokes, so I'm so sorry if they're gonna be very niche and dumb. But so the $5 tier is called bulilit, and bulilit is a Filipino term for small one, little guy. Essentially, bulilit just means like little one, so it's like, hey, little guy. So bulilit is like the smallest tier. It's great. The second tier, the $15 tier, is kaberks. So let me break this down. Kaberks is short for kabarkada. Ka is a prefix that's used in Filipino to say you are part of something or you are with someone. And barkada is like a group of friends. It's a friend group. So kabarkada means you are a friend in the friend group. Kaberks is for short for that. So you're kaberks if you do the $15 tier. Then we have the $25 tier, which we think everyone is like, which has like the most viability, I guess. Like people might like it because it has the album in it. The $25 tier is called Beshi. This one's fun because Beshi means best friend. It's like besh, like best friend, beshi. It's gay slang. So yeah, beshi. You are the best friend if you get into the $25 tier. So that's another one. And from here it just gets to be like a lot more gay slang and a lot more Filipino. Okay. So at $40+ with the stickers, you are in kilig tier. And kilig is that unique Filipino word you've heard has no English translation. Yes, beshi is like bestie. That's correct. Alpha Shadows. Yeah, so kilig tier is when you're kinikilig, when you're feeling this like excitement that makes you shake inside. That's kilig. You feel like it's usually romantic, but it doesn't have to be. Like kilig is like, that feeling you get, like that squeeing feeling you get inside you when you're excited about something. That's kilig. So your kilig tier at 40+, and then at 60+, you are at the more mature and more important level of mahal, which just means love. You are beloved at at $60 and above. Mahal tier. That's the mahal tier. And don't worry if you guys don't remember the tiers. We will color code them so that people who cannot read the name will just like say, oh, the purple tier or the maroon tier. We'll do that. That's mahal. And then there is at 85+, it is deserve. It literally just means you deserve it, but it's again Filipino gay slang. It's like deserve, DASURV. deserve. Um, and then, um, so the next one is at $100. It's taray. So taray means you're like, oh gosh, what does it mean? It's like you're like serving, like, oh, how do I describe it? Taray mo. Wait. How do I? Okay, you're sassy, you're fierce. That's what it means. You're fierce. Taray. So when somebody is like really stylish and like looks like they own the I don't know, runway, you say they're taray. So because you have the money to spend on $100, damn taray. And then the next one is okay. The next one is bonga, and you can kind of get it from the name, but bonga just means like you are bombastic. It has the same like, not root, but like the same feeling. Bonga, you're like, you are just like spending all that money, very bombastic, glorious, awesome. Bonga mo, you're so bonga. So that's like the tier after, which is the 150 plus tier, because I can't believe you're spending 150 plus. That's bonga. Um, and then the last three tiers are crazy. So the $500 tier is bossing, which just means boss. You're the boss. You're the boss because like you're paying this much money for us to make an episode for you. Hi, bossing. You're the boss. That's just the way that Filipinos say boss. Bossing. And then 1,000. $1,000. You are Lodi cakes. And Lodi is Filipino slang. So Lodi cakes is just a fun way to say it, but Lodi is literally just idol in reverse because you're an idol. That's literally what it is. You are our idol. You're Lodi cakes. And finally, the very last, very stupid, is it's called juice colored. And when I say this is Filipino slang, even though it's in English, let me write it down in the chat as well. Juice colored. And the reason that is the top tier, the highest tier, is it is a joke. People will type in juice colored if they're Filipino. What it actually means is that it sounds exactly like the Filipino words Diyos ko Lord, which is Dios ko Lord. It is my God Lord in Tagalog. So Diyos is God, ko is mine, Lord. So people say Diyos ko Lord like as an exclamation, like my God, Diyos ko Lord. But then people just would write it down as juice colored. So that's the see, it's stupid. It's like it's all like dumb in Filipino in jokes, but we had to do it. We had to do it to you. You're juice colored because you are you make us go just colored. Yeah, that's your Filipino lesson for the day. Those are our tiers, and we've just passed, or we almost passed 1 hour. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the time. No, I do have plans again. In the meantime, we can go back to judging Christmas things. Do you guys have anything Christmas or holiday themed that you want me to judge? Thank you so much. The Alpha Shadow says they're all fantastic, though. I appreciate it. Yes. So, if you have any, like, oh, actually, would you guys like me to perform Christmas songs for you while we're here? It'll probably feel like a nice 30 minutes. They're all delightful tier names. Thank you. We worked hard on them. Oh my gosh. We wrote them down in my very big book of my big planner book for 2022. Let me know if you want me to sing like Christmas carols for you guys. To go caroling at your door. Ask for money. That's how it is in the Philippines. You just gotta go to somebody's door and like ask for money. Here we go. Okay. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, I forgot to mention this, but not only is our first what do you call it? Our first goal, the 4550. Not only is the first goal for making the episode, like making Act 3 and like posting Act 3. So what'll happen is actually, and this is kind of like good news, bad news, because I'm pretty confident about it, but still, I'll let you all know. Good news, if we get to 4550 during our fundraising campaign, which will be happening in January, we will be able to release Hainai episodes early. So what'll happen is for 550, we will release 4 short story episodes from February to April, because we will be going back to a bi-weekly schedule, which I think is just the best like time for us. The only reason we went to monthly is because we were all getting too busy to make the episodes. But now that we're able to kind of make a backlog, we can do bi-weekly. And if we hit 550, we will release 4 short stories bi-weekly from February through March until April. And all these short stories are actually in universe, and all they are also, I mean, obviously they're in universe. They are actually going to be relevant to Act 3. So think of them as a prologue to Act 3. That's the short story prologue. But if we don't get 550 by the end of our fundraising, and we'll be running the fundraiser from January to mid-Feb or early Feb. So hopefully we'll get 550. Like I feel like that's not a big ask for how much people have been like supporting other podcasts. Very okay. The Alpha Shadow says very exciting so long as you don't overwork yourselves. We appreciate that so much. The short stories are easier to make, so actually like it's not overworking if we like focus on short stories first, and then we have those to release while we work on like the full episodes. So working on short stories has been so much better for us, I think, which is great. And also because at least one anon like messaged us on Tumblr saying they preferred the short stories anyway, so or like the monologues, like full monologues, and I'm like, you're right. I prefer them too, but I like having a cast, and I like having like being outside of just Mary. Even though it's harder, for sure, it is harder to get dialogue. It's harder to get people to schedule their, schedule like doing episodes. It's harder to get people all like to do dialogue in general, but it's still worth it. I think. Like, I do think that the monologues are. I think there's a certain like element to them that is more appealing and certainly easier to do. But hopefully you guys have been enjoying the dialogues too with the main characters. And it's just fun to have to like call my friends and be like, hey, can we do another recording? It's fun to be collaborative. What was I saying? Right. Okay. If we do not get 550, if we don't hit that first goal, we just can't. We won't be posting Hainai Act 3, which would be very sad. But we will be posting it to our Patreon. So it will be Patreon locked if we don't hit our goal. Because we decide, like just to make our efforts worth it, if we can't even get like 550 just to like get everybody like properly paid, or at least like, get an honorarium, that sort of thing for everybody. Yeah, we just have to like reward, like we just have to like put like judge all of our efforts and what they're worth, kind of. Like we've been doing this for free for like 2 years, and we love the response and everything. But at this point, I think it's fair to say that like if we don't hit that first goal, we have to at least make things easier for everybody and just like kind of work on what we can work on. And maybe like maybe I will give it a year and then like release in the future if we don't hit 550. But I am pretty confident that we will, just because 550 is not that big an ask when compared to everybody else. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I hope that's kind of like sad news to say like, oh, by the way, Hainai is going away if we don't hit 550. But it's still, I think like at least the patrons like we'll get the stuff, and I think like probably like if we don't hit the goal, we'll still release Act 3 in October. So, like, we'll still like release Act 3 publicly maybe like a year from now. um, when we've released most of it to our patrons. But yeah, that's, I think that's fair. That's the plan. So, all the benefits if we hit 4 550, none of nothing. No, it's fine. And I still like, I love that people are listening to it, even if it's just like, even if they don't look at the socials or anything, it's just really cool, like, to know that people are listening to your story. And we've just been trying to also make sure that our Patreon's worth it, because for a while it's been like touch and go on our Patreon. But I think like once we've properly made sure that all our patrons are getting what they deserve as well, that's when we're like gonna be confident enough to start like releasing properly. That's all. I do need to take a bathroom break real quick, so please wait for me. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining me, by the way. In the meantime, what do I put here? Here, I'll put this hat down. Oop. Put this hat down here. Oop. Nope. Here. This hat will now hang on to the microphone that's right off screen. Be right back. You get to see the iron bowl on my shirt. Okay. You get to enjoy this, like, the view of this Christmas view. There. Be right back. One sec. I'm right here in the background. One sec. So, some good news. Hello. Ooh, Kirsten says, I have full confidence in you guys. You all tell a great story, and I'm sure things will go great. You guys deserve support. Thank you. You're all so nice. I like all of you. I like all y'all. You're all so nice and you deserve to be liked. Okay, back on. Hat back on. Gasp. There's a fun thing that I've been doing outside my door, which is literally I have this I have a stocking outside my door, and the stocking is full of candy, and anybody can just come by and like grab some candy from the stocking. I did like a similar thing for Halloween, and I think people get it. I hope they get it. They can just like grab some candy from the door. Okay. There you go. We're back. Oh, no. Here we go. I do have other things to show you guys. Thank you. It'd be a super fun idea. It is like, people are nice, and there's like these kids like on my floor that I've only met like once, but I think children deserve random candy sometimes, if if it doesn't ruin their teeth, which it probably will. But sometimes it's a sometimes treat. I just can't get this on. Good lord. Okay, there we go. We got on before. Ooh, this would have this one is my like nice Christmas outfit. I have my ugly sweater here. I have the ugliest sweater imaginable. And when I say ugly, I mean ugly. Like, I think I wore this once and then never again. And to be fair, I was like sick with COVID. When I wore this, I was like delirious and gone mad. Ah, do you see this? Do you see this? Isn't this the ugliest sweater you've ever seen? Isn't it horrid? Isn't it like absolutely garish? Isn't it the worst thing you've ever seen? It's very warm. When I took my picture last year for Christmas when I wore this, I had a cup of hot chocolate in my hands. Like, I had this big cup of hot chocolate while I was wearing that ugly ass sweater. And the cup of hot chocolate, I was smiling like this. And you couldn't tell, but the cup of hot chocolate had like a good helping of cannabis oil. I was just there like sick. I was so sick from I was like so fatigued from COVID. I was like spending Christmas alone. So I just like I had like this delicious cup of like very gourmet hot chocolate, and then I just started dripping like a bunch of weed oil. Thank you so much, Alpha Shadows. It is so true. Alpha Shadow says, I have been admiring your snowflake cardigan all stream. It is lovely. The sweater, however, is indeed horrendous. I know. Isn't it the worst thing you've ever seen? A sweater worthy of the situation. Yes, Jesse. I was like, it was, oh my God. Let me tell you the disaster of the Christmas I had last year. It was so bad that it got to be hilarious. So here's what happened. The worst Christmas, and yet honestly I have good memories of it because it was so hilariously bad. Like, at that point I had gone past feeling bad about it, and I was just like, this is like a joke. It's a very, honestly, I can only laugh. So what happened was, that year I could not travel because I didn't have my permanent resident card. So, and my family had gone to New York, all of them. So literally I was sitting here in Toronto alone while my family Christmased in New York. And because I couldn't travel, it's whatever. And then but then my nana who felt really bad, like, oh, Mozzie's gonna be alone. So she got my siblings to travel to Toronto for like a day, for 2 days, or for 3 days after Christmas, which was like, oh my God, like I was so excited, like, holy shit, I could spend time with my siblings in Toronto. That'd be amazing. And then I got COVID. So when my siblings arrived for 2 days, I literally could not see them. They were just in a hotel near where I was, and I couldn't go see them because I had COVID. But thankfully on the third day, it was like I was past the immunity point. So even though I couldn't like hug them or anything, I could like walk around with them, which was nice. Like, we did do all like I got to see them on the first and second day. So that was pretty fun. Like, I got to see them outside, but we couldn't hug each other. We were like taking pictures of each other, like standing 6 feet away from each other outside. It was very silly. And there was like a moment where they went inside the Starbucks to like buy some coffee, and I was standing outside like I was very sad, just waving at them, being like, and the people at that Starbucks knew who I was. So they were like, "Motzi, why don't you like go get some coffee?" And I'm like, "I have COVID, sorry." It was like the stupidest thing. I felt bad, obviously, but it was also like really funny to have like, oh, I can't travel. Oh, my family's coming to see me. Oh no, I have COVID now. And I'm just like, well, this might as well happen. Like, it was so bad. But, and this does have a happy ending, kind of. But then, as soon as they left, 2 days later, I got my permanent residence card. And I was like, oh my God, permanent resident card, holy shit. Like, I can travel with a permanent resident card. And that was really cool. I was like, yay, I'm free. I can finally go somewhere. And take note, you know how the immunity stage starts at 14 days? Like at that time, I think it was 14 days. So I got my permanent residence card and I was like, I can finally travel. Too bad I missed this Christmas, but I can finally travel. The day after, my sister calls me and she's like, "You can travel, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And you like, "How many days has it been since you've got COVID?" And I was like, Around like it's been like 12 days. Like I'm almost to the 14-day mark. And my sister was like, "Oh my god, like what if we flew you out right now?" And I was like, "What?" And so morning she suggested that I fly to surprise my parents, that I just to like give them like the biggest surprise ever. That morning I got that call. That afternoon I got a COVID test to make sure I was negative. And then no, it's okay, the alpha shadows. I'm gonna read that for sure right after. And then right after I got my negative test, the next early morning I flew out. So like it was the most spontaneous flight I've ever taken in my entire life. It was crazy. It was like it was like morning. Want to travel? Like you just got your permanent resident card. Want to travel to New York right now? Right now? And my sister's like, "Yeah, we'll get you there." And all of my siblings were like, we're coordinating. They were messaging each other like, "Keep Nana and Tate, like keep our parents and like in the apartment. Make sure they don't go out. Like make sure you just make an excuse, something." And I flew in. I went to my sister's place because like they were in an Airbnb, so I went to my sister's place. And we were like, "Sneaky, we're gonna sneak you, we're gonna sneak you." And so I could hear them like we walked up the Airbnb, and my sister like went ahead and she was like, "Nane, Tata, we have a surprise for you." And then we yeah, and then I walked through the door like one of those like YouTube videos of like people coming back from war or something, and just being like, "I'm here." And then Nana and Tatay, my parents were just like, oh my god, it was so emotional. It was like I was hugging them for like 5 minutes. It was so it yeah, and that's why it's like a good memory because in the end, like it turned out to be one of the craziest, happiest moments. Like the fact that I was able to jump on a plane within a day of like a suggestion by my sister and like give my parents this like Christmas gift because they hadn't left New York yet. And that was like awesome. It was like it was the most spontaneous travel I've ever done. It was so like on like just then like one day of decision making and then just going on a plane. And then because things can't go like completely 100% right, I tried to fly back for work 2 days later and then they wouldn't let me on the plane because they can't read COVID policy because the COVID policy had been updated, and I knew like the correct things to do, but the flight, like the people on the flight, did not understand because the rules were you can show up positive, you can show like a positive COVID test that is like 14 days or older, and that they'll let you on the plane. That was like, okay, cool. So I'll just show them my old positive test. It's fine. And then they said, "No, we can't let you on." So I was stuck in New York for an extra like 2 days, which fine for me. But then I had to call my work and I was like, "Oh no, I'm stuck here in New York. I'm sorry, guys. The plane wouldn't let me on." And so I lost like 2 days of like work, of like income or something. But honestly, 2 extra days in New York, it's great. Can't complain. I liked it. So that was my that was last year's Christmas adventure. Okay, Okay, I'm done telling the weird Christmas story. New York City, yes, because Toronto was right above New York City, so I could fly out and like get there in like 2 hours or 1 hour. But now there is a train to New York, so I'm going to be taking that more often. Yeah, not a bad place to spend 2 days. Exactly. I wasn't like I didn't feel bad. I was just like, oh. I was literally like, they drove me to my flight, and then I was like sitting outside, and I was just like, oh well, I gotta wait for my parent. Like I need to get picked up again. I'm like, well, I'm coming back now. See you in a bit. So yeah, it was a silly time. It was really fun. Yes. So the Alpha Shadows. Thank you for chat. No, honestly, do not apologize for interrupting because I love that everyone's like taking part in the chat. So the Alpha Shadow says, for seasonal questions, not a Christmas person, but I do really like eggnog, which they sell this time of year. Do you have any favorite seasonal holiday eats or drinks? Have I got A list for you. Yes. So I also really like eggnog. I stopped buying it because what I would happen is that I would buy a carton and I couldn't finish it on my own. um, but yeah, like eggnog was one of the things that I was so excited about when I first came to Canada. Because in my early years of Canada, which was like 2018, 2019, I wasn't, obviously I wasn't rich or anything because I was still a student and we were running on Filipino money, and I had to like budget real nice, at budget real tight. So I couldn't go anywhere too much or whatever, or shop that much. But my biggest shopping trip would always be the grocery store. So when I saw like eggnog at the grocery store, I was like, oh, they have eggnog. And then even more so, like, oh, they have lactose free eggnog. So that was one of my favorite things to buy. And yeah, I like eggnog a lot too. For the Christmas season, I would just like get a thing of eggnog and that would be like, Christmas in a drink. It was great. But in terms of Christmas food in the Philippines, so, okay, wait, actually, there's lots of really good Filipino Christmas foods. They're a whole genre unto themselves. You can find like if you search Filipino Christmas food, you'll find a lot. Bibingka is amazing. I will let me show you guys pictures on my phone because I forgot to charge my tablet, even though I was so ready with the tablet. Here, bibingka. Let's go. So bibingka is an eggy, like it's a rice cake with like and it's really cool because basically Christmas in the Philippines involves a lot of going to church, and that's not the cool part. Like the cool part is that it's called simbang gabi, which means going to church at night. Simba means go to church, go to mass, and gabi means night. So simbang gabi, you would go there, and the coolest thing is that it's cold, right? Like because in the Philippines super hot, but obviously at night it's cold even like in the Philippines. So when you go out after mass, there would be so many people selling different foods, and that's the best part because like you go out and then you have all of these stands selling foods, and one of the foods that they would sell is this warm rice cake called bibingka, which I'll type in the chat as well. That's one of them. That's a really classic one. um I'll show you a picture as well. Bibingka, look at that. How do I focus up? There we go. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? And you will see some other ones as well. There's one of my other favorites is called malagkit. Malagkit is funny because malagkit literally means oh, it's so good. You should find like a Filipino, if you know an area, Jesse, find like a Filipino like Christmas something or like market, because we love Christmas. So that there's gonna be, if there's a Filipino group, it's very likely there's gonna be a Filipino market, and find all the food that they have, because honestly, amazing. Like that's a lot of what I bought in the Christmas Filipino market was the food. Gosh, okay. Here we go. Uh, so that's malagkit is another one which I really like. It's basically just like a brown sugar rice cake. It looks pretty much as you would expect a brown sugar rice cake to look. Like it varies depending on like the people who make it, but it doesn't look as appetizing from afar. But I promise it's basically just like brown sugar rice cake. And then, what else? Um, Lots of different ones. How to describe these? Let me see. There's a list here. Filipino Christmas food. Ooh. Recently, so I saw this TikTok that was super funny. It was basically like this Filipina uh, who had married like a Spanish guy. Ooh, Jesse says, I have learned that some of the best tasting food doesn't look appetizing. Brown sugar rice cake sounds great. Yeah, it's awesome. It's like delicious. So there was this like Filipina on TikTok who had married like this this Spanish guy, and uh warning for just a bit of like Spanish swearing, but it's not swear in Filipino. Well, it is, but whatever. Um, she was like giving her daughter some food. It's like little white cake, and she was saying, puto, and the daughter was saying, puto. like this little kid, and then her Spanish father was in the background, like like he was like learning, and he hears his daughter say puto, and he's like it's really funny because puto is another food in Filipino culture. But if you know Spanish, then you know that's not what it means in Spanish. It's so funny. So like their poor Spanish like father, he's like, it's a big puto. This is what it looks like actually. That's like cheese on top. Puto is like this little rice cake. Puto is also another famous like common another common Christmas food. There's another one called puto bombong, which is a different type of puto, but it's like amazing. It is amazing. It's a purple rice cake that let me see, that you put like a shredded coconut and sugar on. It is so good. Oh my god, it's so delicious. That's I like puto bombong a lot more like regular puto. Puto bombong. It's kind of getting to be like a long answer, but basically lots of really good food. We have something called Noche Buena, which is Spanish, but also Noche Buena. Noche Buena is the 24th evening night when you come back from the last night of church and you come home to a feast. So the feast is like full of everything. Sometimes you can get a lechon, which is like a whole suckling pig. Like sometimes you can get pancit, which is like a big like thing of noodles. All kinds of stuff. If you just look up like Noche Buena foods, that's a lot of the things that I grew up eating. And I can't really pick a favorite. Like the lechon for sure is delicious, like the whole suckling pig, and you always try to get the skin. But like other than that, I like a lot of different like Filipino foods. Can't pick just one. Let's just say that. So yeah, we make a whole thing about like food in the Philippines. It's awesome. It's like, let me see if I missed anything, but like it's really fun, and like we even have a lot of really cool Filipino like songs about Christmas, which I used to learn all the time because I was in a choir. um I begin this stream being like, oh, I was in a ballet, and now in ballet, and I'm like, well, I was also in a choir. um and in our choir we would go around singing Christmas songs, so that's why I felt the holiday cheer very early, because we would be tasked to sing, to like just walk around in malls and sing Christmas songs in malls. A lot of them were Filipino Christmas songs, which I really enjoyed. It was awesome. Like we just got to like perform like in the days leading up to Christmas at like random malls, which was really fun. Um, oh yeah, there's something called queso de bola. So queso de bola is pretty self-explanatory. It is a gigantic ball of cheese. Um, it is I forgot what kind of cheese it is, but it's pretty basic, but it is like very common to see around Christmas time. So queso de bola. It's just like red wax around like cheese. It's very simple, but yeah, it's also like very nice thing to see during Christmas. Sweet ham, we have a lot of. Um, uh, hmm, macaroni salad, yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, so lots of stuff, lots of good food. Exactly what it looks like. Yeah, so it sounds like queso de bola, ball of cheese, as if you can believe it. Yeah. Ooh, if y'all have any other questions, please add them in the chat as well. This is fun. See, it's always like I always think that I'm not gonna be able to fill like 2 hours, but then I just like start talking and I don't stop. And hopefully not boring anybody. But if you have questions, and even if it's not a holiday question, do you guys have any questions about Hainai? Let me know. Like any lore questions, any character questions, I am happy to answer them within reason, within not spoiler territory. Um, I will also say that uh, drop your hottest Hainai takes in the chat, and I will rank them. I will judge them harshly. No, not harshly. Um, who's your favorite? Like, drop your Hainai hot takes, Hainai questions. Who's your favorite character? Anything. I want to know. I want to know your opinions. Your hot off the press opinions. While I look for like more Christmas things to show y'all. Um, ooh, I know you asked this earlier, Jesse, but like I forgot to mention in the Nutcracker. Not only do I just really like everything about the Nutcracker and its aesthetic, I also the Nutcracker dance, the Nutcracker Suite, the one played on like the I don't know melodica or whatever it's called. Um, my favorite like version of that dance is insane because it involves like the woman who's like dancing to the Nutcracker Suite. She like basically like she's on her tiptoes, right? Like she's on her like toes. She will jump on her toes like this, like she's literally just jumping like that on her like on one foot on the tip of her toes. She's not even like doing this, like she's not even like flattening her thing. She would like just bonk bonk like do that, and that is like it's such a subtle movement that you don't like necessarily see it from afar, but it is the most insane thing to imagine like a ballerina doing, just being like bonk 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 like on top of her toes. Good lord. um it's one of those like legendary like people love this ballerina who can do it because like she's one of the most well-known ballerinas of her generation, and every time she does the Nutcracker she just does that move because like there are versions of it that don't do that move, but like holy crap, like if you want style points, that's what you do. You just jump on on the tip of your toes. It's crazy. Nutcracker's wild. Oh, okay. The Alpha Shadow says, I wish I had lore questions or theories. The finale took care of most of my theories. I am interested to know if there's been a standout episode to create or a character to voice. Ooh, I think I mentioned this before, but even like back then, my favorite episode is episode 5, Kanta, the singing episode, just because it was so easy to make. But also just like I like singing, and I like I like incorporating music into Hainai, whether it be the jazz music we put in the background or the Tchaikovsky or all that, or even just the songs being sung. So Kanta was a really fun episode. The one who voiced the singing ghost was my sister, Maya Dapul, and she is just like crazy. Like the vocal range on so much better than I am. I'm a decent singer, but like Maya does a whole other thing. So and Maya was the one who voiced the singing ghost when she sings "Always Chasing Rainbows." So that's really cool. I really like that one. Character to voice. I will always. I think my best voice work, even though it's still edited because it had to be. My best voice work, I would say, is the Wahila, the Mama Wolf from episode 20. The one who goes like I remember the line like clever, clever, clever. Like I can't like I've done a voice even lower than that for the Wahila. That was super fun. Like to just be able to go into the lowest threshold of my voice, to voice a gigantic wolf. Love the Wahila. Oh, there is something really funny though. So during the doll episodes, if you'll remember, the character of the journalist. So the journalist is going to be a big deal in Act 3. I'm sure you can already guess. The character of the journalist in Act 3, in the doll episodes, I voiced him, and then he's never going to come back in voice. You know why? Because I completely forgot how to do his voice. It was the most bizarre thing. I did something and I forgot to save the original recording of how I did the voice. Because here's the secret. In order to not sound like myself, I have to do all these crazy voices and just like put them through like a bunch of effects and stuff. So the journalist voice is somewhere like this low voiced man who like has like kind of a like British-ish accent or something like that, and he has like a unique voice. The way I did it was not like to lower my voice and try to match that tone. The way I did it was to go like this. His voice sounds something like, in original form, it was something like, hello, hello, Evan. Something like that. I don't know. Like it was like this crazy nasal voice that I did, and then I like lowered it by like 5 octaves, and it sounded like a normal man's voice. That's the secret. I did literally was just like, I understand. But yeah, obviously not exactly like that because I cannot remember what the exact tone was. But that's how I did it. So, and I have forgotten how to do it. Oh, hello, Bjorn. Oh my gosh, Bjorn Svartalf has come in. Thank you for joining. The most embarrassing confession I have for VAs. It's the worst. It's like, cause some voices I can do fine. Some voices are like, yeah, like the Lori voice was super easy. Well, not easy, but it was like easier to do. It was just like because the Elaine voice was also kind of easy to do because it was literally just like, yeah, this is my this voice like uh, I just go like here and then I add like an Irish accent, so it's like, oh, like a vaguely Irish accent. Let's not give me that much credit, but like when I went to hide, like that sort of thing. Like I can't do it right now because I've been talking this whole time, but that was like the Evelyn voice, pretty standard. And then the Lori voice was a little more fun. It's like going a little higher in my octave. It's to be like, oh, hello there, little witch. Look at that. Like, go a little higher. I did like artificially raise it like one octave just so it's a little like more distant from my actual voice. But it was still good. Like, it was basically that. And then there's the fucking journalist who's just like, where did he go? The journalist is gone. You're never going to hear from him again. He's disappeared. And because I can't do his face, it's too embarrassing. It was so good. So Kirsten says, I was watching an interview with some DMs and they said they recorded voice memos on their phones to remind them how to do specific voices. I don't know if that would be helpful to you though. Honestly, like now I'll do that, but before I didn't think that I would forget how to do it, and then I did forget, and I was like, well, here's my easy solution. I'm just never doing it again. He had a cold. Okay, Jesse says he had a cold during the interview, so usually he sounds completely different. Oh no! If you go back to listen to like both of his Bjorn says we never forget anything until I can't remember the rest. And give him a sneeze. No, actually, if you listen to the two times the journalist appears in like Manika and then in like Digman Part 1, like those two times he appears, he sounds pretty different. Because I realized in that moment that I couldn't remember how he sounded like, so I just did my closest approximation, and then after that I was like, I'm never doing this again. Like it sounds too different. It's gonna be super bad. Like people will notice. I'm just not gonna do this. I forgot how to do the accent, etc., etc. It's so silly, but that's what happens when you're trying to voice multiple characters. I was definitely reaching the end of my rope in terms of like what characters I could voice while reasonably sounding a little different. I hit a lot of numbers. I think the most interesting version was when I voiced Langford. That was a choice, but at least it didn't sound like me. That's what matters. That was certainly a choice, though. Mm. The Alpha Shadow says, I'm constantly amazed by how many characters he voiced. I think we shared that meme once, the one with Kit Harington in like 4 different like Game of Thrones outfits. That's me. I'm just being like podcasters trying to voice different characters. Truffle, hello, Truffle 85. Truffle 85 says, I thought Langford was voiced by a dude. He was voiced by me. So I'm very glad, at least, even if his voice was an interesting choice, at least it sounded like a different person. But no, he was voiced by me. The way I did the Langford voice was kind of my early experimentation with changing my voice. I needed a voice that was very different from my own, but it couldn't just be like the lower threshold of my voice. So I started testing, and one of the tests that I did was like this, like, this is the voice that I use for Langford. But then I lowered it a bunch of octaves. So that's like what the Langford voice is. Like, me talking like this. And then kind of just lowering that down quite a bit. And it was fine. Like, I think that worked out. Truffle85 says, "Wow, that's talented. Thank you. I appreciate it." Yes. So, for those of you who just came in, we are gonna do the gift draw soon. Before the end of the stream, like probably 15 minutes before. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like assign numbers to all the people and then just like randomly draw the number and tell you all who won the gift draw. But in the meantime, you can ask questions about Hainai. You can like drop your questions in the chat. Ooh, Bjorn says, you might have already answered, but what sort of recording software do you use? So that's interesting. So we actually benefit from the fact that our podcast sounds lo-fi. So it is like we didn't have to have like a full setup starting out. Ooh, Truffle85 says, "You're welcome. I usually listen on Spotify, so this is my first time here." Thank you, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Our Spotify wrap was so cool, like to see everybody who was listening and where they're from. But yeah, so to answer your question, in the beginning, it was like the cheapest possible materials. I had like a $30 Shure microphone, which was good, but it was like I had to like have an extra like bit at the end to plug it into my phone, and I couldn't record on my computer, so I was literally just like recording with my phone. And the way we did it was that it was kind of like a little bit of a weaker microphone, but it picked up more noise. So I would literally be under my sheets, just being like, oh, I have to record. So my voice quality is a little different. But I then went on to this budget but really good podcasting microphone called the Uhuru. It's like a Japanese brand or something. So it's this one. It's a nice sturdy microphone, like around $80. It's like still budget for the for the professional mics everyone has. 80 Canadian, which is even cheaper. And that's what I use now. I have like this, I have two sets of like air, like what do you call them, like wind breakers, wind something not wind breakers, those things, these things, this thing. So that's what I record on now. When I want my sounds to be extra like clean, I usually do the recording in my room, but usually I'm just doing it out here in my apartment, and we just like do a lot of like cleanup. And for the software that we use, nothing fancy. We use Audacity. Audacity is the free audio software, and we just learned how to mess with it. So you don't need all of the fancy tools. I have slowly upgraded as time went on, but honestly, for the style of show that we were doing, upgrading wasn't even necessarily a necessity. But I just wanted to like have a better setup, because like the old microphone didn't really have like, it wasn't comfortable to record with it, even if it was like doing what it needed to. But it's nice like to have this, like we don't have the most expensive setup. Like this Ahura microphone is not that expensive. That sort of thing. We don't have like an expensive like recording room or anything, but it was really nice to be able to do this. And all of our other members as well, they didn't have like fancy mics. Like maybe like one or two of them did, but the rest like had like very casual microphones for their computer for video calls. And what we did was we just like made sure to listen to the quality of each, and we would just adjust based on that. We would like we use the telephone filter on Audacity. And interestingly, some of the people's audio was so bad that we didn't have to do that. That was kind of a benefit. We would just make sure everything sounded similar, but like in some cases the audio was so bad we just kept it as is, and then the rest of the audio we had to manually make worse. And for the dialogue episodes, that what we did, we like had bad audio and then we made bad audio, and it all sounded great when you put a tape above it. So that's the secret. That's also like a really cool I guess I'm sure the Magnus Archives didn't invent this, but the fact that they did this like really cool thing where they have like lo-fi sounding audio was so freeing. It was like such a wonderful idea, because a lot of people struggle with the quality of audio, like from the first, like, they can't start because, like, oh, I don't have a good enough microphone, I don't have a good enough this and that, like, oh no, there's too much noise, I can't do this and that. But honestly, like, the fact that they were able to do this thing where it's like, oh, it's all going to be on tape, it's all going to be bad sounding, that sort of thing, it's so freeing. So when we did it, we could do whatever stories we wanted because we didn't have to worry about the fact that I didn't have a fancy microphone. It was like, it was amazing. Like, that's kind of, in fact, in some ways, it actually, I think it sounds better from like my early on, because it sounded worse, weirdly. Um, Bad sounding. What do I mean about bad sounding? I mean, like, because for a lot of people, they're afraid to start like on audio stuff without getting like an expensive microphone, or like, like, um oh, Truffle 885 says I can actually listen to it and I usually hate lo-fi. Yeah, I mean, we're doing lo-fi, we're not doing like, we're not trying to make it like lost footage, you know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to make it sound like awful. But yeah, like, we want to make it sound like old, or like not old, but like analog, I guess is what it is. Rather than lo-fi, like analog is the term, I guess we would you call it. Because the conceit is that it's happening either through phone calls or through tapes, because of like the analog side of the story. Ooh, and also Truffle 85. Here's an interesting background to that. When we started, we got a message or a comment, and I think it might have been even an anonymous person, but this anonymous person changed our lives because they said that, oh, can you please check your audio? There's this like really high pitched buzzing sound that's really bothering me in the episode. And I was like, oh my God, really? I can't hear it. And here's what I realized. I was editing. So I went to a film post grad, and they made us buy a fancy set of headphones. I had these $80 headphones. So I wouldn't have bought it for myself, but I use it now. I used it for editing. So I was using that to edit the first few episodes of Hainai. But then I realized I'm wearing these fancy headphones. Nobody's like, people most people aren't wearing fancy headphones. They're wearing regular headphones or earphones, or like cheap $4 whatever. Like, a lot of people just have regular earphones. I was like, oh my God, I've missed something. So I went back, I put these like cheap $4 Canadian headphones in, I listened to it, and I could hear this horrible high pitched sound. So I started like, adjusting, making sure, until finally the sound, the quality is like very low, like very analog, but now that high pitched sound is gone. So, and then we went back and we edited their other episodes based on that. And ever since then, Hainai is edited with shitty earphones. Because that is what most people will be listening on. They're not going to be listening on these $80 fancy editor's headphones. They're going to be listening on cheap or mid-tier earphones, which I have both of those. So yeah, fun fact: Hainai is edited to sound lo-fi. It's edited to sound bad quality, but it's also edited based on like low quality earphones and stuff, so that we can make sure that everybody who's listening to it won't have a bad time. And that's why. And I think that was like one of the best pieces of criticism. Um, Truffle 85 says, that's wild. It could have been me. I do go through cheap earbuds and I can't stand high pitched noises anymore. Fair enough. It's purposely lo fi, and we also made sure it's purposefully like doesn't have one of those issues that actual like bad quality audio has, like really annoying buzzing. I'm very sensitive to that sort of thing as well. I have like really high bass stuff because high pitched buzzing like irritates me. So I listen to mostly on the bad earphones, then I give it like a cursory listen on the good earphones in case you miss something. But for the most part, that's like a very effective way to do it. Like, ironically, having the lower quality like material, or like lower quality editing tools made us sound better. It gave us better quality. So, that's a trick that to consider. Um Bjorn says, reminds you of how a lot of the old school black metal is slash was created. It's made to sound very raw and analog for the atmosphere. Exactly. Like I feel like so I like to watch these I like to watch the horror what do you call it? The analog horror things. But then most of them are kind of bad. And the reason for this is because you can tell very clearly that they're trying to be analog, but there's something about it that's too shiny. Bjorn says Hammer horror. I don't think I've watched Hammer horror, but I can look it up. It's like some games, some stuff. Like I think the recent one was the Backrooms was one. There was also like this Mandela County or something like that. Something like that. So I really like analog horror that feels real because there's a lot of analog horror that like is made to it's almost like you can tell this person didn't grow up with analog, and that's like kind of that's an interesting thing because like um yeah, so Bjorn says, oh, I get what you're saying now. I've watched a few of those with my partner. Yes, absolutely. um a lot of people who make the best analog horror are the people who definitely grew up with analog because they know what that looks like, they know what that sounds like. They're not just like trying to emulate it. They're like they know what's wrong, like they can tell like the textures are too clean or something like that. I really like that sort of thing. Like I really like the ability to just get that like dirty. I say dirty, but you know what I mean. Like it's like not polished. It has like an old timey feel to it. And the reason I know that, even though I'm like technically a bit of a young millennial, I'm like mid to young millennial. In the Philippines, like there's at least like a 5 year sort of like um how do I describe it? Like the technology, like even though we're all very like in the know about like current trends, a lot of technology just in terms of like expense, like how expensive it is, a lot of the newest technology doesn't hit the Philippines for a little bit, and most people are buying like technology they can afford, so it's like a year older, 2 years older. And when I was growing up, I had tapes, I had VHSs, that sort of thing. I was born in 1994, and most of my childhood was like proper analog. um and yeah, like it's interesting. Like I just really like style. I just realized it is now sorry, we're now like almost to the end of the stream, and I will set up the numbers. But please do keep asking questions. I'm gonna answer those questions to the end of the stream. But I will, like, for the people who have come in, I'm gonna note down every single name, put them in a number system, and then send those numbers out. So yeah, please ask some more questions while I go check out these names, and we will draw whoever won. So the rules are, and for those of you who just came, the rule is I will be drawing a name. So I will be like seeing all the names of everybody who has dropped into this chat. That isn't a bot, but thankfully no bots have come tonight. Everyone who's dropped into this chat, even just said hi, even if they couldn't stay the whole way. If they said hi, then I'm gonna like count them because I know people can be busy. They can't be throughout the entire chat, throughout the entire stream. And then I will have all those names. I'll number them, and then I'll like put a random number generator, and we'll pick a winner for our Redbubble. So for those of you, here we go. Let me link the Redbubble just so people can see what's on there. Um, so on the Redbubble we have like a bunch of designs. One of my favorites is definitely the Baybayin design, which is the one that's like the High Night podcast but in Baybayin. There are two versions of it that I really like. But I also really like the drawings by my friend La Dig Cake, with all the chibi Hainai people, because that was my favorite. The tiny Hainai is what they're called. Here we go. There you go. All right. You can check those out if you're interested. But yeah, we'll do the draw. Okay, let me just make sure. The Alpha Shadow says, we know you are inspired in part by TMA. Do you have any other favorite horror slash other audio drama? Ooh, yes. So as an audio drama person, I don't listen to that much, but I do have a couple of favorites. Well, the ones I've listened to are my favorites. So, um, one is obviously Welcome to Night Vale. I'm very like mainstream. It's not my audio drama like record is not very impressive. I like Night Vale. I like TMA. And I really the third one is actually friend of the podcast. We might actually do a an interview with the creator for February for Valentine's Day, because the third podcast that I'm obsessed with is called Life with Leo. Let me type it in the chat. Life with Leo. There. Wait, no, it's a weird name. Here. Life with Leo is a rom-com. It's a rom-com podcast where the protagonist is a lawyer, and her romantic lead is a sentient android. So it's an android human romance. It is very good. It is very funny. It is like, gosh, it's just like the fact that like I got to guest star, like I got to guest on like a podcast week thing with the creator, and as soon as she pitched it, she's like, "Oh, it's our android human romance," and I was like, "Android human romance." I was like, "What?" And if you on my Twitter, actually, there is like a clip because I donated to their fundraiser a while back, and they did like a personalized message from Leo, the romantic protagonist, and it made me so happy. Because he has such like oh yeah, Life with Leo, it's great. They actually from Atypical Artists, so like they're proper podcast, like with an actual like studio behind them. Yeah, Life with Leo. Here, oh, let me play. Let me find. Gosh, and the voice actor for Leo is amazing. He is so good. He is like, he has the perfect android romance voice, quite frankly. Here, okay, let me find it. Oh my gosh, here we go. Life with Leo. Here we go. There. Yes, actually. Where are you? Okay. Nope. Okay. Well, I'll find it. But in the meantime, let's do the draw before I find it. Okay. I'm just making sure I got everybody's names. So it's, I'm gonna note these down. Please give me a moment. Apologies for the delay. Okay. I'm the only person on this live stream right now. I have like three other teammates, but where are they? I don't know. They're busy. No, I understand they're busy because like literally, we are like heading into the busiest time of year. Okay. The alpha shadows. Okay. And then I got that, making sure everybody's here. Rita was here for a bit. And for those of you who want to join our Discord, please do. Let me know if you want to join the Discord. I'll drop a link in the chat. It's fun. Like everyone has a good time chatting about Hainai. Everyone's silly, and sometimes you will see me lose my mind. The other day, I made up a new character for Hainai for Act 3, and everyone got to see me lose my mind over this new character. You all like see all of my posts at like 1 a.m. Here, okay. Oh, and truffles, yes. Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay, got everybody here. Yes. Okay. Oh my lord. I lost my mind over a character that I made up. He's my new Blorbo. His name is Dooley. He's great. He's gonna be in Ahaina Act 3. He's gonna be very important. He is so sweet. He is a pining old man. That's the best kind. Okay. Yeah, Discord link. Let me get that right now for you. Hainai community. Okay, here. Here it is. Invite people. I shall invite the people. This link expires in 7 days, but that's fine. Here. Hopefully that link works, but yeah. Oh my gosh, the Alpha Shadows. Okay, I'll talk about him more like as time goes on, but first let us do this random number generator. Here we go. Okay, minimum. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people. That's amazing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, what happened? Okay, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay, let us generate. Okay, let's do. All right. Drum roll. Ta-da! Okay, we are gonna be drawing the winner for tonight's Gift, Christmas gift. Wait, let me put on my Santa hat. I will be. Oh, perfect, awesome. Come in, Bjorn. Come join our Discord. Oh God, wow. Okay, I broke that. Read the rules and enjoy. I broke this hat. As okay, here generating now. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, let's look who that is. I'm literally just like, okay, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, the winner is Bjorn. Bjorn. Now that you've joined our Discord, you can get in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bjorn is the winner of the merch. Woo! Congrats, Bjorn. um, this is our Christmas. I will get in touch on Discord once you join. But if for example you aren't able to, Bjorn, welcome. Yeah, that's why I did the gift giveaway like at the end of the stream, because like if it had been at the beginning of the stream, it was like, oh yes, 2 people. No, yes, okay. I'm so happy and welcome again. What was I gonna say? Oh, I forgot. All right, okay. Okay. I'll calm down for a sec. I will show you guys the the voice clip and make sure that you guys get to hear the amazing romantic robot, Mr. Oh gosh. Okay, here. Oh, by the way, like if you haven't watched our Spotify Wrapped video yet, it is so cool. Like just seeing people seeing people like listen to our podcast from Spotify. It is way more than expected, and I really appreciated that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being so good to us. Hopefully you guys. Ooh, Bjorn says I'm bear and dark elf. Ooh, oh. Sorry, I was like reading it and I read your name and I was like, ah yes, bear McDark elf, Bjorn smart elf. That's good, actually. No, that's honestly really good. I mean, listen, that's how fantasy is. Think about it this way: in Elden Ring, they have a character named Blythe, which literally just means wolf. It literally just means wolf in Welsh. And guess what he is? Man with wolf head. And then there's another character named Lobo, which is wolf in Spanish. And guess what Lobo is? Giant wolf. It's fine. Fantasy isn't there for being like unique with names. It's all a lie. Okay, here. Okay, here is the voice of Life with Leo's Leo, greeting me, a supporter.
Thank you to MOTZIE, writer of unimaginable horror, as heard on the High Nay podcast, and lover of cute android romance, for supporting our show. You deserve a pile of waffles.
Do you hear that?
Thank you to MOTZIE.
Isn't that the most adorable romantic robot voice you've ever heard in your life? That's the he's so cute. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. I love that guy. And yeah, like if you look at like the Life with Leo stuff, they are so cute, and they fundraised season 2. He's the most robot voice of all voices. Ain't that the truth? Um and also just like this art. Let me find this art. Where is it? Here we go. They did their Indiegogo. They did really well, and I'm really happy for them. And I really hope we do well too. Where is this art? I feel like I've heard this voice somewhere before. It sounds really familiar, doesn't it? Like I know, like I probably haven't heard his voice in other places, but oh, here's the art, by the way. Look at this. Look at this romance. So, like, yeah, all 3 of my favorite podcasts. One is Welcome to Night Vale. 2 is Magnus Archives. 3 is this Android romance, Life with Leo. Super cute. Yes. So, wait. Oh, and I forgot to say, my other favorite podcast is a financial podcast. I like to listen to finance things. Sorry. That's basically what I do in my free time. Listen to Coffeezilla, listen to the Financial Diet, financial podcasts. Yes. Okay, anyway, we are hitting near the end of our 2. Oh, thank you, Bjorn. The biggest horror of all, finance. No, it's true. I like to listen to super liberal, not liberal, super leftist people like talking about finances. It's great. It's the best thing ever. Um, and if you guys are looking for one, Financial Diet, Plain Bagel, really good ones. Anyway, I love a good history podcast myself, says Bjorn. I know, right? Yeah, like I like to listen to not only like I like to mythology, history, finance, like those really fun. Like I say fun, they're like more like brain food. Um, Oh my gosh, Truffle85 says that's wild. I actually ran into the financial pod diet in my recommends. The toddler husband's hilarious. Yeah, honestly, yes, yes, yes. The financial podcast is great. They have like really great lists for if you want to start your financial journey. Like if you're a baby in finances and you want to like do like small things to like start your journey. And like they inspired me to start, investing like small things. Like I'm not even investing like anything huge, like tiny, tiny things just to get started, that sort of thing. And like they gave a lot of really basic but really good tips about starting your financial journey, I guess. Yeah, like it's very like Gen X Gen X big sister vibes. Which I do have a Gen X big sister, so it's like, yeah, no, this seems about right to me. Yeah, like they don't get every single thing right, but honestly it's like it's great, it's like good for me. Yes, so we are, gosh, okay, we are hitting near the end of the stream. Thank you so much, everybody who's been coming in. Last like count before we say goodbye. I wasn't able to do this because the table's too small, but I do have like the little hot chocolate served here. I do have like a whole hot chocolate like batch, like things like hot chocolate like corner in my apartment. Just for making hot chocolate for the winter. Um, there's also the obviously the Christmas hat. Oh gosh, what did I do? I ruined the focus. Hello? Hello? Oh my god, what did I do? No. No, I ruined the focus. What did I do? Hello? There, okay, thank God. Okay. What a way to end the stream. Um, Thank you so much, everybody. Last thing to mention. Um, that pink parol is a political symbol. The color pink is a political symbol in the Philippines, for a better future for us all. That's interesting. Also, look at these adorable Christmas earrings that I also have. Uh, this thing, which is a capiz shell Christmas tree. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the stream. If you would like to join our Discord, you can. You can bother me, ask questions. I love chatting in the Discord. I will go over my obsession with my new character, Dooley, again. Um, you can like, as long as just read the rules. It's great. There are like they're all pretty basic rules. You get warnings and everything. It's fine. Um, we're all pretty chill over there, so I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for joining the stream. It's a bit like haphazard, but at the same time, it has been awesome to see everybody. Oh my gosh, like all the new faces, new names that I'm seeing in the chat are awesome. All the old names as well. Like I'm so happy to see everybody. I'm glad you like the podcast. We will be like announcing the details of our fundraiser soon. We are posting like short stories to our Patreon right now, and then those short stories will eventually be posted beginning of the year next year to everybody else. Yes, please do spread the word for Hainai. Please do listen to Hainai if you can. Or tell your friends to listen to Hainai if they can. And thank you. We love you. I love you. I'm here. And as we always say, hanggang sa muli, it means till next we meet. So thank you. Feel free to bother me in Discord, on our socials, etc., etc. Mwah. To Hainai. I will now go make some hot chocolate, possibly with some cannabis oil. No, I don't need it right now. All right, love you guys. Bye. Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And yes, Mary does have a favorite Christmas song. You will hear it one day.